the mental benefits, the physical benefits when it comes to aches and pains. And then you also have that, skin elasticity and clearing up imperfections. I have a lot of teams that love to do it for acne, and it helps to clear that up. And they don't have to take, those medications or use those harsh creams. So it helps with that as well.
Welcome to the Rebel Health Coach Podcast with Tom Underwood. Armed with truth and knowledge, your journey to a healthy lifestyle can be obtained. Preventative wellness, quality nourishment, and daily fitness routines dramatically improve your outlook on life as a whole. And you'll find the support and info you need to accomplish a healthier lifestyle here. Together, we can empower each other along our journey to an amazing you.
Today on the Rebel Health Coach Podcast, I ventured out of the office to record this episode at one of my favorite places to chill, literally chill. I'm sitting at Impact Cryosauna with the lovely Nancy Story, and we are going to discuss one of my favorite biohacks for my aging body, which is cryotherapy and other modalities offered here at Impact Cryosauna. Nancy, how are you today?
I'm doing wonderful. Thank you so much for having me on, Tom.
Oh, thank you for joining me. I wanted to get this done, and people see me in that booth and they wonder what the heck is he doing. So I get all
Absolutely.
these. So first of all, what is your role at Impact Cryosauna?
So at Impact, I am actually the studio operations manager. So I do all of the retail operations from managing the flow of the studio, managing all of the employees, and making sure that all of our clients are happy and safe and enjoying all of their therapies.
Oh, cool.
Yeah.
How long have you been with Impact?
So currently I'm on about 9 months with Impact, but 4 years total in the cryotherapy industry, where I've operated the Impact Cryosauna the whole time since the beginning. So there are a few out there, but the Impact Cryosauna is the one that I've actually operated the entire time I've been in the cryo industry.
So let's talk about that a little bit.
Yeah.
Before we dive in, Impact Cryotherapy actually manufactures a booth. This is their first storefront?
Correct. Yes. So Impact Cryotherapy is actually a corporate company that manufactures and sells the Impact whole body cryosauna. And we have currently almost 400 units out in the field and in some, international countries. So they're not just national. And this is the first corporate owned retail location that we call the studio that is owned and operated by the corporate company that manufactures the sauna.
Tell us a little bit about what makes the Impact Cryotherapy sauna so different than some of these other ones out there.
Absolutely. So a few things. First off, Impact Cryo is the leading U.S. manufacturer of the cryosauna. So we pride ourselves on that. We register the temperature very differently than other places. We also monitor the temperature of our sessions very closely so that we can tailor the sessions to our clients. We have it's an octagon shape, and it's a stand-up chamber where we chill the skin temperature, not the core, just for a 3-minute session. Impact, something that sets Impact apart is the team that is behind Impact. So what that means is, where some companies, they're resellers of a sauna that's built overseas. We build them here in the United States. We support them here. If our clients that have purchased a unit from us ever have an issue, which is very rare, the maintenance is very low with an Impact unit. But if something were to happen, because it is, a piece of technology, we have a team here to support and provide any kind of service calls or parts or anything like that. Whereas other companies, you might be on your own to try to figure out how to fix that unit, whereas Impact will support that unit. Once you're an Impact client, we definitely do everything that we can to take care of you. So that's probably the biggest thing that sets Impact Cryo apart as a company. But when it comes to the actual piece of equipment, anybody that's ever done a session in another whole body sauna and then comes to us and does it in our Impact unit immediately says that there is a very clear difference. The cold is a more even cold. Also, it can be a little bit colder. We have a very effective piece of equipment. And for the most part, as soon as somebody's done a session in the Impact unit, they don't go back to anywhere else.
Okay. I'll vouch for that because I've tried different units. I can definitely tell the difference between the Impact and I don't even know what the brand was, the other one, but it wasn't that great. I mean, I enjoyed it. I enjoy that form of therapy for my body, but I do believe that I feel a difference with the Impact unit over the other one.
Yeah. And, when you start out somewhere else, you really don't know the difference. But then as soon as you do the Impact session, you understand how effective, the cryo session can be. You don't really want to go back to anywhere else.
So let's talk about a little bit about the history of cryotherapy. Cryotherapy's been around for some time.
Correct.
The Egyptians used it back in the 2500 BCE or whatever to treat injuries and inflammation. So it's really starting to gain or skyrocket in the public as a go-to secret weapon.
Yep. Tell
us a little bit about why that is.
Yeah. So, kind of starting with the history. So there are definitely, like you just said, the Egyptians used it. And then in more modern times, actually a Japanese doctor created it in the 60s. And his profession was around treating rheumatoid arthritis. So he wanted to take that cold immersion and figure out a way to naturally promote an anti-inflammatory and healing response in his clients that were dealing with everyday aches and pains from arthritis. So, over the last few decades, it slowly kind of made its way over here, and all these different companies are trying to come up with a very effective way to do the whole body therapy. And, it's a 3-minute maximum session. Because we use nitrogen, our machine converts that liquid nitrogen into just a cold, dry, ambient air. And so you stand in a cold, dry environment for 3 minutes. Our starting level is negative 90 degrees Celsius. Our level 2 is negative 110 degrees Celsius. And our level 3 is negative 120 degrees Celsius. So, we always want to start out our clients on level 1 to give you a nice intro to the therapy. That way, whether that's where you want to stay, indefinitely, or next time you come in at that point, you know what to expect. You can work your way up to a colder temperature. And then for level 3, that's mainly our athletes that are real big on ice baths, and they don't want to do those anymore, but they really want to, push their limits. So they'll go all the way to level 3.
Yeah, I'm a fan of level 3 myself.
Yeah, you are.
I like go big or go home.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
The general level 3, I call them the polar club, polar bear club. They're either athletes or the go hard guys like you that are super active, always beating up your body in different exercises and workouts, and the benefits. So you just go for it.
So let's talk about some of the benefits.
Yeah.
So basically, cryo in Greek word for me is cold for cryo, and therapy is meaning cure. So we got cryotherapy.
So we got a cold cure. Yeah.
And a lot of it's done by, a lot of people take ice baths, but there's some downsides to ice baths. Number one, I don't fit in my tub very well.
Yeah.
So that's a downside for me. And if you go to a spa where there's tubs, and then you're getting in a tub that somebody else has been in, which is I can't do that. That's just nasty.
Yep.
So the cleanliness plus 3 minutes. And if you do an ice bath, you got to sit in there for 15 to 25 minutes to get the same effect.
Yep, absolutely. Yeah, because they can never get it cold enough to get that time down for you. So you've got to go longer. Yeah. So, cryo being that it's only 3 minutes, you think, man, how can something so great can happen in 3 minutes? But at the temperatures that we use, at the dry air environment that we use, our bodies can tolerate it and respond to it very quickly. It's very effective in, the anti-inflammatory response. Anytime you've ever hurt yourself, the first thing you think of is put ice on it. So this is that whole body icing that helps with all of the aches and pains. Even if you have just one specific problem area, the whole body is good because it's actually getting your whole body and all of your systems to react to the cold, to promote healing, to boost your metabolism, to bolster your immune system. to increase your energy and to really help with, kind of that endorphins release to make you feel happier, to feel better, to feel lighter on your feet. Also a really awesome kind of more beauty aspect of it is the collagen production. So, especially us as women, we're always looking for something to either turn back the time or to slow down the time. So cryo is a very natural way to help with those aspects as well.
How about sleep? Does it help you with your...
Absolutely. So what I've personally found with a cryotherapy session, you tend to have an energy boost after your session, whereas normally you're just kind of going throughout the day, 2-3 o'clock, you have that midday,
crash,
exhaustion. Yeah, that crash that happens. And this can kind of override that so that your day is full of energy. You're getting a lot of physical exertion out so that when you go to bed, you just crash. You've kind of worn yourself out because you've been feeling so good. And then you sleep better. You feel like you're not so heavy when you lay down. Your joints don't typically when you get still, those joints kind of stiffen up. They get sore when you have to get up in the morning, you're more stiff, takes a few steps to kind of loosen up. So it definitely helps throughout that whole process of sleeping better, waking up, feeling more energized and not so sluggish in the mornings. And, I think we're all looking for a way to maybe cut down on the caffeine. So it definitely helps with that.
Yeah. So we have eases the pain, discomfort of chronic medical conditions is something that has been used for. Helps reduce inflammation, athletic performance and recovery enhancement, sleep enhancement, stimulates collagen production. Also, mental focus and attention. I mean, it's
correct. Yeah, the cold, helps to increase the production of. I always have a hard time with this, with the word, but norepinephrine. That's it. Yep, in your brain. So it helps to stimulate the production of that to help with mental focus. Kind of boost that mental focus and attention. So,
right. Yeah, that's awesome. I notice it a great deal because I usually come in around 2:33, which is
that midday.
That midday crash. And I'm like, all right, I got to get this.
Yeah. And it's also, another thing kind of on that cosmetic level, it's a very positive thing to do in order to help with skin conditions and, stimulating that collagen production. So, you've got that kind of mental, the mental benefits, the physical benefits when it comes to aches and pains. And then you also have that, skin elasticity and clearing up imperfections. I have a lot of teens that love to do it for acne, and it helps to clear that up. And they don't have to take, those medications or use those harsh creams. So it helps with that as well.
To sign up for my monthly newsletter, text RHCP, that's Rebel Health Coach Podcast, or Red Hot Chili Peppers, to 22828. Again, that's RHCP to 22828. Thank you and have an awesome day. How about the weight loss aspect? There's a lot of controversy on this.
Correct.
But it does work.
It does. It does, but I will say this: it's kind of one of those grain of salt things. So if you're typically coming in looking to live a healthier life, you're going to hopefully be, changing some diet, some things in your diet. You're going to hopefully be increasing your physical activity. So increasing your recovery through doing cold is just a nice thing to fit into a healthier lifestyle. I don't ever want to tell somebody, oh my gosh, come in every day for a month and you're going to lose a pound a day. I would never say that. But typically, if you have it on the brain to lose weight, you're going to be seeing those other aspects of your lives becoming more healthy as well.
Well, yeah, exactly. And by decreasing inflammation in the body, you're actually already working on the weight loss, because weight loss is weight gain has a lot to do with inflammation in the body.
Absolutely. And that metabolism boost, that, caloric burn that we're all looking for, because you always want to, if you're trying to lose weight, you want to burn more than you're putting in your body. So it definitely helps to increase and boost that metabolism, where you can see some good benefits with weight loss.
Well, another good part that I love is that it takes out some of the toxins in your body along with inflammation.
Correct. Yeah. By increasing your circulation and And, sending that healthy oxygenated blood around your body is going to filter out the lymphatic system, which is holding all the lactic acid and the toxins in your body that causes the stiffness and kind of that weight that you feel when you're walking around, when you're just not feeling on your A game. It definitely can help flush that out, make you feel lighter on your feet, not so stiff in the joints, not so sore with those toxins, settle up in your muscles. So it helps to flush that out as well.
Right. And it's also been known to boost leptin levels, which help with your immune system. So, and the rapid exposure also to the extreme temperatures that change switches the hypothalamus on as an anti-inflammatory process in the body. So the whole thing all the way around is just rejuvenating.
Absolutely.
And it's, people don't understand it because, they see me in that tank when I post the pictures and they're like, okay, what the heck does that do? But there's so many things at so many levels that it's doing.
Right. Yeah. This cold is, it's tricking your body into thinking that it needs to go into survival mode. And that might sound a little scary, but it's also it's exciting because what it does is it helps to, regulate your bodily function. So what happens is your blood vessels actually constrict, and that circulation gets sent to your core. So the most vital part of your body to preserve in a cold environment is your vital organs. So it thinks, okay, let's send the healthy, let's send that circulation to the core. Let's cycle through, the organs. Let's keep them as warm and safe as possible until I warm up. And then what's actually going on is that those vital organs are actually doing their job at a higher capacity. So when you step out and you start to warm up and those blood vessels dilate back to normal, that healthy circulation rushes through your body. So you've got more oxygenated blood, you have more detoxified blood, and that blood is still, so warm because you're not in there for too long to get cold. So you're going to warm up really fast and you're going to feel that rush of relief. And, a lot of people get out and they say, man, I feel like I just went for a run where I have that runner's high going on, those endorphins kicking in. So we call it the cryo high, those endorphins that kick in from the cryo session.
Okay. Yep. Exactly. It is a buzz.
Yes, absolutely.
So let's talk about some of the other modalities that you offer.
Yeah.
I mean, first of all, I'm going to start off with the Normatec boots. Normatec boots.
Normatec, correct. Yeah. Yeah. So the Normatec boots, those are also a huge hit. They definitely, enhance the benefits that you're getting from the cryo session. So typically in a visit with us, people come in, they do the whole body session. And then after that, they go straight to the 15 to 30 minute compression therapy known as Normatec. And Normatec is an awesome, piece of technology that helps to increase circulation and flush out lactic acid in the muscles. So what it does is it flushes out the lymphatic system. So the way, the boots, which is, I know your favorite, the boots are awesome. They go all the way from the toes all the way to the upper thigh. And what that does is it squeezes the feet first, and then it does the ankles, the calves, the lower thighs and knees, and then the upper thigh. And in that order, it's pushing the circulation up. And then once the cycle relaxes, which is about every 5 minutes, that circulation flushes back through the legs to help to increase that circulation and to flush out that lymphatic system. So a lot of athletes love it, but also, we have a lot of people that come in that have issues with circulation, where they feel like, their feet are cold all the time. They just don't really get good circulation all the way down their leg to their feet. And it really helps to increase that circulation. And it's kind of like a massage. It feels really good.
Oh, man. It's amazing. This is the same type of boot that's used for people with lymphatic issues in their legs, correct?
Yes, correct. Yeah. So that's definitely something that, the Normatec has become very popular for. Anytime you have, any type of aches and pains, and the legs and the hips are the most popular for sure. And, I think we can all say we all have some type of aches and pains in our legs or hips.
Yeah. My legs hurt 5 to 7 days a week.
Yeah.
But I do that to myself. So we have Normatec. What are the benefits of the Normatec?
Yeah. So benefits of Normatec, definitely if if you're ever, used to going to get massages because you feel like you have those knots that settle somewhere, it definitely helps to kind of massage those out. It helps to, like you said, flush out the lymphatic system, move that lactic acid that's settled in your muscles. So it's great post recovery, post workout recovery. But honestly, it feels really good. And it's not something that you necessarily have to do while you're hurting. It's something that you can do to prevent future hurting or a lot of people with kind of mobility issues. I know some people do their sessions, they get up and they're like, I haven't touched my toes in 2 years, but they all like already have that flexibility and mobility back after doing having about a 15 to 30 minute Normatec compression session. So it's definitely like a really nice stretch.
Okay, cool.
As well.
All right, let's talk about localized cryotherapy.
Yes, the local is really cool. So the localized is it's one piece of equipment that is very similar in the technology to the whole body. It's just the difference between an isolated area versus doing the whole body. So our localized cryotherapy it's just an isolated way to get cold either on your face for we call it a chill facial, or you could do it on a body part. It's the same piece of equipment. It's just the difference between where you're doing the isolated cold. Sometimes we have kids that come in. I've had as young as 12 years old come in that have done whole body, but sometimes they're like, man, I sprained my ankle, but I'm really not really, interested in the whole body. Maybe the parent's a little bit reluctant, that young, to try that. So what we can do is we can introduce them to cryotherapy by doing a local session to show them it's not so scary. And also, we can do a very focused session of cold. So I've had people come in with sprained ankles. I've had people come in with, actually I'm treating a kid right now that has a sprained thumb. So we do about a 3 to 4 minute local session to just really focus on a specific issue.
Okay. Let's talk about the chill facial. This is something that I finally experienced for the first time the other day.
Yeah, they're amazing. When you first hear about it, you're like, man, why would I want a bunch of cold on my face? But when you do it, you realize actually how relaxing it is. It's about an 8-minute session. A chill facial is, like I said, with the local, it's the same cold blast of nitrogen air. It's completely dry, but it is very cold. With doing it on your face, it really helps to, reduce pore size, to help reduce puffiness. I love to do one first thing in the morning when I get to work, when I feel like my eyes are just really heavy and swollen from sleeping so hard because I do my cryo. It also helps, the cold, like we said, with the whole body, cold is known to help stimulate collagen. So with the chill facials, we can, our goal is to potentially help with skin elasticity. So it's really awesome to, tighten up the face and help with pores and puffiness.
Okay. Yeah, it really feels good. Matter of fact, I need to do that more often. I just don't have, I don't always have the time to sit there for that long a period to get all that done. But it's nice to go in there when I have the time. And it was really interesting.
Yeah. The beauty about, the studio is that, if you have the time, we'll do whatever you want while you're there. So
yeah, that's another thing we should bring up.
Yeah.
For the listeners out there, I know this is the only location, but eventually I'm sure there's going to be more locations.
Yeah, that's the goal. Absolutely.
And, and I think that, correct me if I'm wrong, but if you buy a package, you can do on a visit, you can do all the modalities.
Correct. Absolutely. And that kind of leads me into, we have the whole body therapy. We have the localized therapy where we can do a local session or a facial, and then the compression therapy that we've already discussed. And then we actually have one more. It's called Saluma, and it's an LED light therapy that really helps with kind of 3 different categories of healing, whether it's wrinkles or acne or pain. So we even have one more service that would be included in that offering for packages and memberships.
All right, let's talk about Saluma.
All right.
Because I also did that. And I don't know how to explain it. It's like wearing a face mask with lights in it.
Yes. Yeah, absolutely. It's a little pad of lights. It's very soft. So you don't have to worry about, it being uncomfortable. So we can actually put it around any body part because it is a formable pad. So we can wrap it around an elbow. We can wrap it around your face. your ankle, wherever it may be. So it is actually an FDA cleared piece of technology for acne, wrinkles, and pain. Based on what you're coming in for, the system uses a different light frequency to help penetrate at the different level of which you're trying to provide healing. It actually helps on a cellular level, where the mitochondria picks up the light through the photoreceptor process, and it helps to stimulate ATP, which is adenosine triphosphate. And what that is essentially food and energy for your cells to rebuild and rejuvenate any kind of broken down or damaged cells. So, if you have some damage that's causing you pain, we would use the pain setting. If, you're having some breakouts, then we'll do the acne setting. And then if you just want to turn back the clock a little bit, we have the wrinkle setting. And it's between a 20 and 30 minute session, depending on what setting you want to do it on. And out of all 4 of our therapies, it's probably the one that has the least amount of sensation while you're doing it, but it is pretty relaxing. It's just a nice little kind of red and blue glow. And you have goggles to kind of cover up your eyes. Although it's an LED light, it's not UV light, so it's not damaging light. It's just to promote healing. And, most people say it's very relaxing. They'll just kind of take a nap in our little private room for it. And most people come in between 2 and 3 times a week to do that, along with the other therapies, in order to see the maximum amount of benefits.
I need to come every day so I can get rid of these lines I'm starting to gain as I get older.
Hey, be proud of that.
Yeah, and that was pretty interesting. I enjoyed that. I have to do it more often. I really have to figure out a way to make time to do that, because that's definitely some self-love going on there when you go in there. So
absolutely. And what's so great is time-wise, we can do the Soluma and the Normatec compression at the same time. So we can overlap those, and you can just lay there, get a massage on your legs or your hips. And also, if you want to do the light facial, you can do that at the same time. So to hopefully cut down on, if you're in a hurry, we can maximize the therapies at the same time.
That's awesome. I'm going to put in the show notes the pictures from when I was in there. And also, but put the link to the studio and also the company, if anybody's interested. I'm sure as they grow, they're probably going to be looking for people to, are they going to open it up for entrepreneurs and to be owners of studios?
Yeah, absolutely. Right now we're in the beginning stages of putting together a plan, hopefully to franchise in the future. It's still very early stage. So we're, seeing how the studio goes, working out the kinks so that we can provide future entrepreneurs, with the best setup to open up an impact studio.
Yeah, because it's the greatest thing in the world, in my opinion.
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, it's amazing. You get hooked once you give it.
You do.
Give it a few goes, you get hooked for sure.
Yeah, it's something that I cannot live without. Thank you so much for taking the time today. I appreciate it, and I appreciate you, and I appreciate all the girls that work there. It's a great place to go, and it's a great place for me to get away from all my technology that I sit in front of all day.
Yeah. Absolutely. Well, we love having you in, and thank you so much for giving me the opportunity to talk about cryo, because I love it so much. And, we'll be seeing you soon.
All right. Thank you.
Thank you for joining in today with the Rebel Health Coach, Tom Underwood. And be sure to subscribe to the show so you can catch all the episodes. With desire and commitment, you can implement a lifestyle of wellness and fitness. For the support, encouragement, and tools you need to be successful, visit tomunderwood.net.